Hello, in Java, let us start a advanced topic, multi-threading. Multi means many, thread stand for task, that is multiple tasking or many task. What is a multi-threading? Before that, there are two types of software development: single-threaded and multi-threaded. CCPP being a single-threaded language. In Java .NET, we can use a multi-threaded language. Two types of process. Whenever any program execute, then it allocate two type of applications or two type of processes: process based application and thread based application. In case of process based application, single flow of control at a time, whereas multi-threading generate multiple flow of control. Process based application, one by one statement get executed, that is sequential execution, whereas in thread based application there are concurrent execution. In case of process based application, context switch is more. What is a context switch? A mechanism of switching the control of CPU from one address space to another address space is known as a context switch. In case of thread-based application, context switch is less. Each and every subprogram exists a separate address space. What is address space? Address space means what? Created by operating system for the temporarily execution of program. Whereas in case of thread-based application, each and every subprogram exists a single address space. Process considered as a heavyweight application, whereas thread is considered as a lightweight application. Each and every thread-based application is one of the process-based application in which one main process will be created and in turns create a number of threads. Let us take a look at the multi-threading. It is the capability of microprocessor to handle the multiple tasks which are getting executed concurrently simultaneously. The best example of it, a window operating system has capability to execute the multiple application concurrently since it itself designed by using multi-threading technique. Or internet is also the example of multi-threading. Let us look at take at the let us take a look at the advantages. First one is the utilization of multiprocessor architecture. It means multi-threading increases the uses of CPU since it can be handled number of tasks instead of keeping them in ideal stage. It is also economical to allocate memory and resources for each process separately. It becomes costly, but thread allows to share the same resources, hence it becomes economical. As well as responsiveness. Responsiveness means what? In terms of client server application, system resources are shared simultaneously by number of client. Thread is a default which share many resources. As well as it requires less overheads. These are lightweight components created at runtime. These are shared same memory address space for processing, and it is inexpensive, that is economical. But it has some disadvantage also. A program using multi-threader is not capable to debug easily. A thread consumes more process time. Programmer may face deadlock and race conditions. If at a time the two threads are executed simultaneously, for example, in case of internet banking, if you have a joint account and one user may request a checkbook or the other user may withdraw the whole amount. In such cases, deadlock or race conditions are encountered. In case of online application, online reservation, if the two users at a time reserve the same seat, then what happen? Such type of disadvantage occur in case of multi-threading. Then how to solve it? We will see it later. In case of synchronization, operating systems spend more time in managing and switching the threads. Life cycle: whenever we declare the object of thread, then thread is born, and then it is ready to, by using the start method, it get ready to enter various stages. If we give the slip method, or if we call the slip method, then thread under this method is automatically joined to the process by using the specific time interval. After the expiry of that time interval, the process automatically get joined to the running process. If we use a suspended method, then we have to use the resume method to join the process. During the running of thread, IO request also block the thread. Then such thread is joined to a process by using join method. We can also keep in thread in waiting stage, and again to join all the thread we use notify all or notify method. Whenever we use the stop method, then thread get terminated. Every thread within its life cycle, as soon as it is being declared, the first passes through the bound stage after the declaration, and it is initialized with the address space of run method and enter into running stage. That is, whenever you want to write a thread program, then you have to write a run method, and your own mechanism of threading is under the run method. Within the running stage, it is perform all steps. By the time a programmer can make such thread to enter into sleep, suspend, or wait stage as per the requirement of our program. After applying various method under thread, it is terminated. Then it get entered into dead stage. Then such thread never can be utilized to generate the process. Here are some various stages. The ready stage, thread is entered into main memory, running stage, wait stage, as well as dead stage. How to create thread? Thread is created by using these three methods. You can be create the object of thread, or you can be initialize the thread with the given current thread, and you can be write a class that extend from the thread base class, as well as thread has a implements runnable interface. Thread has a runnable interface which can be implemented under the class. Here are some constructor. It is a default constructor with string parameter. Whenever we want to create thread by using implement interface, by using runnable interface, then that object is always passed to the thread constructor, as well as here we can also give the name of the thread by using string parameter. Thread is start by using start method. Whenever we use the start method, then the method get executed. Okay, you can also set a name by using set name method, as well as you can also access the name of the current thread by using get name method. We can also set the priority to a thread, but initially if you declare the number of threads at a time, then the priority is based on a declaration of thread. But if you want to change the priority, then there is set priority method is present. We will see it later in the program. Let us take a look on the example. Okay, while creating thread, write a class, and this class must be extended from a thread base class. That is, here we use a second method. Now write a run method. Suppose here we simply want to print a numbers 1 to 10 by using multi-threading. Okay, how to convert this program, or how to make this program to print one by one number, we will see it. Before that, let us create a simple program. Now create the object of above class. and you can directly write here start method to enter into running stage. Okay, let us see the output. But if we want to run print these numbers one by one, then we can use here slip method. But if you try to directly use the slip method, then see what happen. Suppose here we give the time interval 500 milliseconds, then it will throw the exception. It will throw the error. Unreported exception, interpreted exception must be catch or declared to be thrown. That is, write this program under the try catch. Handle this exception. This exception is essential for slip method. Try is closed, then catch. Give here some message. Here is the output. If we give here more time interval, then what happen? The process is little slow. Here is the multi-threading application. Suppose here we want to print a alphabets. Then suppose use the ASCII value 65 to 90 and convert this into char. Yes, it is right. Okay. Here we create a class by using a thread based class. You can be change this program by using runnable interface. Here implements runnable. The code is same, only the difference is here you have to first create the object of given class. After that, create a thread object because it is not directly extended from the thread base class. Pass here object of your class and then use here start method. But here also you cannot be used slip method directly. Right here thread class dot slip. The output will be same. Okay. As per your choice, you can use a either extending or you can create a class either extending from thread class, thread base class, or you can also use a runnable interface while performing the multi-threading applications. Let us merge two programs, two classes. One is by extending the thread class and the next one is by implementing the runnable. Here we have a simple class sum which will calculate the sum of two numbers. In case of this class is extended from a thread base class. Here we have three members ABC. Okay, within the set method, pass this value, those two parameters, and within the run method, we only want to perform the addition. Sum of A plus B equal to C. Okay, after that, here we have second class, which is implements by using runnable interface. Here also, this class has run and set and run method and perform the subtraction. Now Okay, now here let us create the object of these two classes. Here we have data input stream, enter two values x and y. Now first create the object of sum class and set value, then create the object of subtraction class, also set values. But we can directly use the start method with this sum object, but we cannot use the directly start method with this object. Therefore create the object of thread, pass this object to a constructor of thread class, and then by using constructor use here start. You can also try this method join, then you will display the execution of status after join is alive. Here you will get the false value. I give here comment. So here we enter two values, is a subtraction and sum. Now let us see the example of next program. In this case, at a time we create a thread of at a time we create a thread of two classes, two different classes. Here we have a even class. We write here constructor of this class. This class is directly stemmed from the thread class. Therefore, here we directly call here the methods of thread class set name method. Then here give message thread started and display the name of current thread and use the start method. Then after initialization of this, the run method get executed. Here we use the infinite loop while true. Okay, the sleeping time is 200 and check here whether the given value is more by 2 and as well as less than 100, then only print the value as a even number. Due to sleep method, you have to write here the interpreter exception and continuously you increment to I, as well as here the same class is for odd number. Write a constructor and here only the condition is different. If it is not equal to 0, then only print the thread odd number. Now here at a time we created two classes, object of two classes even and odd. But here the time interval is 500 and here the time interval is 200. Therefore, how it will display the output, let us see. Now here we have single even number, one odd number, after that multiple even number and single odd number, because the time interval of odd numbers is maximum as compared to even number. And if you give the same time interval, then what happen? Let us see. Here also we give the 200, then one odd number, one even number, or two odd number, two even number, one odd number, one even number. Okay, like this you can use a multi-threading program. Let us look at this example of digital clock. Here we create this example on applet by using the enable interface. For this example we need the font object of font class as well as date. This date is used from java.util, that is utility classes. You have to import java.util package. Graphic is present under the awt.star and applet for applet. Okay, now if within the start method check whether the runner is initialized or not. If it is not initialized, then initialize the runner with no thread and call the start method. It is stop method within the run. Here is our main logic. Here we only want to generate the date class, object of date class. Reprint method continuously update the object, or reprint method always give call to every time paint method. Here for paint method we use a object of graphic class. Here set the font. You can also eliminate this part. Now here is the important part. You want to print a date on applet container. Therefore here we have a drawstring method. Here by using the object of date class, print a date, and here is the value of x and y axis. That is, it will display the date, or not date exactly, the time, and that time is changed by using slip method 1000. That is 1000 is equivalent to, it is a 1000 millisecond, equivalent to 1 second. That is, time is changed after 1 second, or second will change after 1 second. Okay, let us see the example. For this example we need HTML file. Within this file create a applet code. But this code must be under HTML tag. Save this file and run it. Before that, compile this class and then run the HTML file. Okay, let us increase the size of applet. Okay, this is the Indian Standard Time. This will change the second by second. It is the simple example of thread using on applet. Let us take a look on some extra methods. Here we have one more class of applet. We want here to display the alphabet randomly, as well as we can be pause or suspend the given thread. We have here string alphabet, one text field, one button, and one thread object. Here we create a boolean value suspended one. Okay, now here create the array of alphabet A to Z, as well as build a text field button. Here we have two buttons, suspend, resume, and stop button. Or you can also use here pause. Pause button is pause and resume button is equally work like this button. Then give the action listener. Whenever the start method is executed, then create the thread object. You can also stop it. Now it is the main logic. If the boolean value is false, then call the suspend method, as well as for the proper execution assign the false to the suspend method. If it is true, then call the resume method, and suspend one is true. It means what? Here we have only single button for these two operations. Therefore, here we use a alternate logic. If it is true, then set false. If it is false, then set true. Okay, button 2 for stop. Now it will display the random character. Then thread T. Then assign this thread T to a current thread. After that, after 1 second, it will display the character. Here is the here is the logic of character. Our array is 0 to 1 to total 26 character, that is 0 to 25. Therefore you can be print that character in random order by using random library method of math class. and here is the stop value. The stop value is 25 because we have a array of 26 alphabets. Now here simply extract the one by one character by using caret method of string class and display this character under the text field. It is the simple logic. Now let us use this class with our this HTML file. Before executing this file, your class should be compiled. After that, use this file. Here is the random character will display. If we suspend it, then it will stop. Okay. Initial the value of suspend is, I think, no, we didn't assign any value to a suspend. Let us assign the value. Suspend is equal to, suppose initially it is true. Then this condition is true, and then it will stop it. Let us see. Compile it. Now I click here. Yeah, it will work fine. Now again, if you want to resume it, then click on it. If you want to suspend again, resume. And if you stop it, then thread get terminated, then you can't be use suspend or resume method. Okay. In next lecture, we will see the next synchronization and priority of thread. Okay. Thank you.